Hello. Filipinas. Pride in Filipino appearance. Filipino ladies, Filipino girls, FilipinaWives. These beautiful ladies you fell in love with, who make you feel lucky every day at how incredibly pretty they are. Yet there is a constant quest to improve on what Australian men find nearly perfect. Why? Of course, this is nothing new. Women everywhere are critical of their own appearance, and often of other ladies around them. The ladies of the Philippines are no different. It's a hard one to get the head around when you find them so enchanting. How could they possibly find fault in the Filipino beauty that we find so utterly delightful? Part of it comes from just being women, but there's also a cultural cringe that happens here, and I would assume in most former colonies. There you go, just to explain, that's a before and after plastic surgery with an actress trying to look more white. Okay, the myth of the colonist superiority and beauty. Now, the Philippines was colonised by Spain in the early 1500s. And they hung around until 1898 when the Americans took over, and they hung around until 1947. So only the last 70 years of the previous 500 have been as the Republic of the Philippines. Now just note it is not the PI, it is not the Philippine Islands. That's an old American colonial description, just like when the English would refer to Australia as the colonies. A lot of years of being ruled by other countries and cultures, this did very little to strengthen national pride. The main issue is a sense that everything outside of the Philippines must be better. And Australians can relate to this too, because I guess probably pre-Whitlam, we had our own cultural cringe towards everything British. We used to listen to, particularly the ABC, radio and TV voices that imitated the British accent. England was the old country. Everyone dreamed about taking the boat or maybe the plane to go and see Buckingham Palace one day. And when we were kids, we used to sing God Save the Queen at school, hold up the Australian flag and sing God Save the Queen. And I remember as a kid I used to wonder who Santa Victorious was, because Santa Victorious was happy and glorious, if we remember. What do you have in the Philippines now? The rich old people at airports trying to dress like American teenagers, complete with sporting shoes and t-shirts with football teams on and baseball caps. Probably every Filipino entrant in the Miss World and Miss Universe competitions being racially half white. The most admired actors and actresses being the same, half white. James Reed, Anne Curtis, they're both half Australian, for goodness sakes. Actors, actresses getting nose jobs and other plastic surgery so they weren't pungal, which is, excuse my pronunciation, which is having a flat nose, which is the worst thing in the world. A number of ladies trying to become blonde or some other hair colour, and some will wear coloured contacts to give them blue eyes instead of the Filipino black eyes. Not brown eyes, but black eyes, as though it's something bad. Cultural cringe, embarrassment, and disappointment at looking like a native Filipino, and the desire to look like white people. I've already covered white skin in a previous video. You can look it up, so I won't cover that in depth again. That is a significant expression of this issue, but that's not all there is to it. Noses. Most of us Westerners find Filipino noses very cute little button noses. Yet they will tell you they wish they had a big nose, Actually, even mine isn't that big, but you'll hear people admiring whopping big, chunky white person noses. Makeup artists will try to make noses look narrower and more pointy. I don't know, they put something on the side here and you'll look and think, good grief, the nose looks not like a Filipino nose. actresses with plastic surgery that is the opposite of what Western actresses will do to their noses. In the West, they want their noses small. Here, they want their noses big. White people, especially of Jewish extraction, yes, will want noses reductions. Filipinos want it to stick out. Your girl will probably not want to wear glasses or sunglasses because it will emphasise her flat nose or show that she has no nose. So it will be, oh no, wear some sunglasses. Oh no. Everyone will notice my flat nose. Now here, most, depending on how much Chinese there is in the person, because the Chinese have been visiting here for hundreds of years. Some people have a bit more Chinese in them. Hair, native hair here is normally a little bit on the thick side, but ladies will want to get their hair straightened and thinned out, and process known as rebonding, fairly common, because no one wants to look like an Aeta, which is a Filipino Aboriginal who has curly hair, and going blonde. And Asian hair, when it goes blonde, it looks like an old Wallace Ting Ting as far as I'm concerned. That's one of those straw brooms that you see. Very rare to find a Filipino who just likes her natural hair. They're all trying to colour it. I suppose it's from being an Aussie that grew up with God Save the Queen, and parents and grandparents who thought they and all of us were inferior to the British, and being part of the generation that overcame that, really, makes me wonder when and if Filipinos will start to appreciate what they have and realise they can stand up proudly knowing that what they have and how they look is in no way second to anybody. Now, without wishing to become political, I think it's reasonable to point out that the Philippines has a president these days who now wants Filipinos to be proud of being Filipino, finally. I'm sure he shocked a few by not being, cap in hand to other world leaders, showing his inferiority. He didn't do that. Good for him. Probably still a long way to go, but if Filipinos can start being comfortable in their own skin, literally, skin colour, hair, being happy with their flat noses, that would be something very nice. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it and you would like to subscribe, you can click on the little button down the bottom corner there, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. There are regular articles on aspects of Australian visas to the Philippines on www.downundervisa.com.au. There's a blog page you can subscribe to. There is a free visa assessment form, and there are regular articles on aspects of Australian-Filipino relationships, which you can see on www.FilipinaWives.com.au. If you can please share these articles and these videos on any of the social media that you use, we would appreciate that. Thank you.